Count money, man. Stack riches. Try and told him I'm a beast, bud.
What's up, gang? Welcome to another episode of the GRINDcast. Get ready, it's a new day, and we're going to talk a little bit about failure, how people allow failure to affect them personally. People, I think, start using failure as proof that they're not worthy and start to talk themselves out of pursuing their dreams and not understanding that failure is a part of the process. Because, you know, right now, deeply rooted in today's culture is the idea that success got to happen overnight. That we believe that if we don't get what we want exactly when we want it, then it's probably not for us. You know, oh, it's just wasn't for me. No, it might be for you. You got to understand it ain't going to happen overnight. You got to understand that it's going to take some failure. It's going to take some setbacks. It's going to take some obstacles, some adversity. Anybody can handle great times, sunshine, wins. But really what separates you is how you're able to handle the losses. You know, I got a young man in my business right now, Joey Crivelli. And I remember when he first started, you know, I always knew he was going to be a beast. But when I really knew is he was like, I just want to fail. But it wasn't like he's in there like lacking confidence saying that he wants to like fail or he's crazy. I understood what he was saying. He understands that part of getting to where you want to be is to fail. That if you're going to ride a bicycle for the first time, you're going to fall off. So you got to fail enough times until you're successful. If you're going to box, you're going to throw punches multiple times, hundreds of times, putting in tons of hours, and it's not going to be right. You're going to fail at it in order to be successful. If you start to dribble your basketball with your left hand, you got to fail at it a bunch of times in order to be successful. And so he understood that, you know, when we set out sometimes as people on a new adventure, you know, you're all excited. We're all fired up for the task ahead and what's getting ready to happen. We got the vision in their mind. Everybody's all fired up, honeymoon stage. But then when it doesn't happen as fast as we want it to happen, people start playing the blame game. They start blaming other people, other things, other outside circumstances as to why it's not happening. Yes, failure is part of the game, but blaming is not. In order to grow, you got to fail, but you got to take ownership of it. Because failing is okay. But if you keep failing and making the same mistakes over and over and over again, then you never move ahead. And the reason why people make the same mistakes over and over again is because they've never taken personal responsibility. So they don't look and say, I messed this up because of this reason, or here's the way that here's what I need to work on. Here's how I need to get better. No, I'm blaming the coach. That's why. I'm blaming the boxing coach. I'm blaming the basketball coach. I'm blaming the referees. I'm blaming my leader. I'm blaming the environment. I'm blaming this. When you blame, it's very difficult to win. You got to fly higher. You got to fly another level because it's easy for us to question everything in the middle of chaos. But when you come out of it, you can look back on things and understand why it happened. You know, how many times could you look back on your life and have some negative things happen, have some hard things happen, and it's just during the chaos, it's difficult to understand. But when you come out of it down the road, you look back on it and you're like, man, I realized how that made me better. I realized how that made me a better person. I realized how that happened for me and not to me. Einstein said the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. And so we got to be able to adapt, evolve, and part of changing is failing. Is it's making mistakes over and over and over again, but every time getting a little bit better. So like, you know, this right now is going to go up on YouTube. So this going to go on YouTube. But people don't understand that YouTube started as a video dating site. That's what it started as. And so I don't see it being successful at that right now. You know, it had to evolve, it had to adapt, it had to change, it had to make some adjustments, probably had some failures in the way. Whoever's behind it had failures in the way. Instagram started as a digital check-in app. but they had to adapt, pivot, evolve. It takes time. What they didn't do, though, was throw in the towel just because the first attempt didn't work. That's what people end up doing. Is, oh, it wasn't for me. Too often people use failure saying that they're just not, it's not for them. They start talking down on themselves. Start talking themselves out of going, away from their dream. Why are they doing that? Because it's hard. It's real hard. You're gonna want to quit. But you have to pay the price up front to get the payout down the road. That's why there's trouble in this environment sometimes, in a society that wants everything quick. They want microwave results. They want microwave money. They want everything to happen fast. And they understand that the more that they try all these shortcuts, that they just get cut short. And when you start to just do the process and hit it head on, that it actually from point A to point B ends up being a lot quicker than you trying all these other things other than doing the work and failing. And so what we got to do is just focus on getting better every day or every week. Progress doesn't mean you got to have perfection. Progress happens in the process. And so you make progress focusing on the progress, understanding that it's not going to be perfection. Sometimes progress is failing and learning and moving forward. It's the whole 1% daily improvement is how much at the end of the year. Well, people would think it's 365% increase, 1%. No, if it compounds daily, 1% daily improvement is 3,700% increase with compounding interest. You got to fall in love with it. You gotta fall in love with the process in failing and understand. Don't worry, when you fail, you're gonna have haters, you're gonna have critics, you're gonna have people talking about you, talking stuff. The same people, they're just sitting there watching you like they're watching television. They're sitting there in the stands talking about the person that missed the shot, missed the free throw, making millions, and they're sitting there paid money to be at that game, and they ain't getting paid millions of dollars, but they're talking shit about the person making millions of dollars. They wish that they were making millions of dollars, but they didn't want to fail. They didn't want to go through the pain. They didn't want to go through the process. And so to make themselves feel better, they start hating on you. You got to understand that a part of the process, a part of failure, is understanding that you're going to have hate, that you're going to have haters. It comes with the territory. And if you want the territory, enlarge my territory, prayer of Jabez, enlarge my territory, bless us with increase. Well, you're going to also be blessed with increase of haters. You're going to also be blessed with more haters. If you had a gym, you're playing basketball in high school and you were good, and there's 1,000 people there, 500 people there, and you have 5 haters there, guess what? When you get to a gym with 50,000 people in it, you're going to sometimes have a gym full of 10,000 haters, 5,000 haters, 1,000 haters. If it's an away game, you got 50,000 haters. You got to get comfortable with operating that's a part of the process. Failure is part of the process. Don't allow these things to hold you down. Don't allow these things to discourage you. I want to encourage you to set out this upcoming week, set out this upcoming month to fail. Set out to fail. Because the avoiding the failure aspect is avoiding the growth aspect that's necessary. They're brother and sister, they're cousins. Failure and greatness are together. It's not foolish failure. Foolish failure is not identifying why you failed and fixing it. Foolish failure is not learning from your mistakes. It's doing the same things over and over again, blaming other people. That's foolish failure. You ain't going to fail your way to success that way. You're going to fail yourself into a hole. But when you're looking at why I failed, what can I do better, taking constructive criticism, getting a little bit better every day, small inches at a time, don't despise that you're only getting better 1 inch at a time. If you've been on the grind for the last month, and you can look at not the result, but what areas have you gotten better in? Oh, I've been trying to work out. And in this last month, I didn't lose a ton of weight, but now I go to the gym 3 days a week. Well, 2 months ago, you went no days a week. You're winning. You're making progress. We're getting better. Failing, learning, growing, that's all part of the game. And so whatever your game is right now, whatever game you're in right now, I want you to don't allow yourself for this upcoming month, don't allow yourself to avoid necessary failure that is stopping you from growth. I want you to attack the things that you're afraid of failing at, and understand that is the path to greatness for you. And if you find any value in what we're going over, if you would do me a favor and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share it with other people, share this podcast with other people so we can impact other people. And I want you to know how much that I appreciate you giving us a moment of your time. You could invest that into anything, anywhere, anybody. And I'm grateful that you gave us an opportunity to pour into your life. So have a great week. Have a great month. Keep grinding. Let's get it.